Hello, and welcome to St. John's Cathedral. My name is Blair Martin. I'm one of the members of St. John's Cathedral's worshipping community and part of our Labyrinth circle. Usually on the first Sunday of every month, we hold a guided labyrinth walk and meditation. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we have been unable to hold those in person. Since May, we have been offering these online, as you're now seeing. As the pandemic is still not completely under control, we are taking COVID-safe measures, and that means our labyrinth walks and meditations must continue to be online. Today, I start our walk by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which I stand, the Turrbal and Yagara people of the Yugara Nation. I acknowledge their elders, past, present, and future. I acknowledge that the land and the waters of and around this land is theirs. Sovereignty has never been ceded. It is, was, and always will be their land. Today, for our Labyrinth walk and for the month of September, we look at Creation Tide. Here in Brisbane, Australia, the month of September, like all throughout the Southern Hemisphere, welcomes spring. In the Anglican Communion in Australia, we also take this time to celebrate and honour God's creation between now and the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi, which is on the 4th day of October. Also, our cousins and friends and fellow Christians in the Orthodox Communion also celebrate Creation Tide at this time. So, I hope that you will be able to follow along with the liturgy and meditation that has been prepared. I acknowledge that this meditation, in most of it anyway, was prepared by Christine Goulet, another member of our Labyrinth Circle, who compiled this for our Creation Tide walk last year. Thank you, Christine, for your magnificent work and bringing beautiful words and focus to our walk. If you have never walked a labyrinth before, there is no right or wrong way to do it. The standard pattern is to enter and to carry with you those things that you wish answers, burdens relieved, things that are troubling you. Walk quietly, at whatever pace, to the centre. When you reach the centre, stay for as little or long as you like. And once you leave the centre, leave with a feeling that burdens are released, answers may be had, or if they're not there then, you know in time they will come. And so, please join me in walking the labyrinth today. You will find with this presentation that there are links to being able to download a paper labyrinth, for one you can follow with your finger or a pencil. Our cathedral shop also has small handheld labyrinths in the style of the great Chartres labyrinth from Chartres Cathedral in France. Our labyrinth behind me here, which is located in the north transept for this recording, under our rose window where we would normally hold our labyrinth walks, is of that Chartres style. I will also be walking the labyrinth with these Anglican prayer beads. And these prayer beads are a way of assisting me with my contemplation as I walk the labyrinth. You'll also find a link to these with our presentation today. So I'd ask you, if you do have a copy of our liturgy, to begin. Let us open the labyrinth together in the words of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. We who recognize that all good things come from the divine Creator have taken too long to acknowledge that the living out of our beliefs concerns most deeply the care and nurture of all living things and the environment on which they depend. The text to meditate on as we walk is a portion of Psalm 136. The responses are in bold, if you care to say those aloud with me. I give thanks to the Lord of Lords, for God's steadfast love endures forever. Who alone does great wonders, for God's steadfast love endures forever. Who by understanding made the heavens, for God's steadfast love endures forever. Who spread out the earth on the waters, for God's steadfast love endures forever. Who made the great lights, for God's steadfast love endures forever. The sun to rule over the day, for God's steadfast love endures forever. The moon and stars to rule the night, for God's steadfast love endures forever. As we commence our walk and time of meditation together, this prayer is by David Adam from his work Tides and Seasons. Let us say it together. You are the maker of earth and sky. You are the maker of heaven on high. You are the maker of oceans deep. You are the maker of mountains steep. You are the maker of sun and rain. You are the maker of hill and plain. You are the maker of such as me. Keep me, O Lord, eternally. Let us close the labyrinth together with this poem by the late Mary Oliver, How the Grass and the Flowers Came to Exist, a God tale. I suppose, the Lord said, let there be fur upon the earth, and let there be hair upon the earth. And so the seed stuttered forward into ripeness, and the roots twirled in the dark to accomplish his desire. And so there is clover, and the reeds of the marshes, and the eelgrass of the sea shallows, upon which the dainty sea brant live. And there is the green and sturdy grass, and the goldenrod, and the spurge, and the yarrow, and the ivies, and the bramble, and the blue iris, covering the earth, thanking the Lord with their blossoms. Because the divine could not express itself in any single being, the divine created the great multiplicity of beings, so that the perfection lacking in one would be supplied by the others. Thus, the whole universe together participates in and manifests the divine more than any single being whatever. With those words of the 13th century mystic St. Thomas Aquinas, let us share a blessing with each other. If you would say the words in bold type with me. May the angels of light glisten for us this day. May the spark of God's beauty dance in the eyes of those we love. May the universe be on fire with presents for us this day. May the new sun's rising grace us with gratitude. Let earth's greenness shine and its waters breathe with spirit. Let heaven's winds stir the soil of our soul, and fresh awakenings rise within us. May the mighty angels of light glisten in all things this day. May they summon us to reverence. May they call us to life. For the grace, let us say together, may God, who established the dance of creation, who marveled at the lilies of the field, who transforms chaos into order, lead us to transform our lives and the church to reflect God's glory in creation. Amen. Thank you for joining us on this labyrinth walk for the season of Creation Tide. We look forward to seeing you again at our next labyrinth walk on the first Sunday of the month next October. And that Sunday will be at the time for St. Francis of Assisi. We will have a guided meditation and walk for that day. It's possibly not going to be in person, but there will be a labyrinth recording for you to enjoy. May the God of creation be with you, now and forever.